Hi friends, welcome back. Today we are going to solve LeetCode problem 807 max increase to keep city skyline. So before we start looking into the details of the problem and some examples, I just want to mention that my channel is dedicated to help people who are preparing for coding interviews and Java interviews, and on my channel there are over 200 solved examples which were taken from previously asked interview questions by Amazon, Apple, Google, Facebook, Microsoft, Yahoo and many other big companies, and those constitute different variety of problems which are very important from coding interview perspective, such as dynamic programming, uh, graph related problems, binary search trees, binary search related interview questions, then linked list questions, string questions, and BFS, DFS, matrix related interview questions as well. So if you are preparing for Java interviews or coding interviews, please subscribe to my channel. My channel can definitely help you in your job interview preparation, so please subscribe it. So let's go through the description quickly. So there is a city composed of n into n blocks, where each block contains a single building shaped like a vertical square prism. You are given a zero indexed n into n integer matrix grid, where grid RC represents height of the building located at row R and column C. A city skyline is the outer contour formed by all the buildings when viewing the side of the city from a distance. The skyline from each cardinal direction, north, east, south, and west, may be different. We are allowed to increase the height of any number of buildings by any amount. The amount can be different per building. The height of a zero height building can also be increased, which means that if there is no building, we can also make a building at that place basically. However, increasing height of a building should not affect city skyline from any cardinal direction. So what it means is, if we are looking the skyline from north and if we are incrementing, like increasing some of the buildings height, then the skyline should not change basically after we are increasing the height of some of the buildings, right? That's what it means. So return the maximum total sum that the height of the buildings can be increased by without changing the city skyline from any cardinal direction. So there are four cardinal directions, as they said, north, south, west, and east. So if we increase any of the building size, then it should not affect the skyline viewing from any of these four directions. So that is what the problem means. So let's just take this example over here, and we can discuss more about this problem. So as this given example, as you can see here, for example, uh, like let's say if we are seeing the skyline from west, right? So in this direction if we are seeing, and if we want to increase this building, let's say at this cell, right? So we can increase this building, and from 3 to 8 we can increase, right? So if we increase from 3 to 8, then still we can see the skyline in the same way, right? Because 8 was the previously highest building. Now we made it 8 here, so from west the skyline will still look the same, right? And if we are looking from the north side, then the skyline will still look the same, because previously we used to have 9 as the highest building that we used to see, right? Still we will be able to see 9 as the highest height of the building, right, from the north. Similarly, if we make this 8 and if we are looking from this direction from east, then still we can see the 8, right? And the 8 what we used to see before, so it's not changing any skyline. And if we are looking from south, right, in this direction, then still we can see in this way, like 9 as the height, right? This 9 as the height we can see, and still the skyline will remain same basically if we make this height 8 basically, right? So this is the maximum height we can make, right? If we try to make it 9, then this 9 will change the view from west, right? Because it used to be 8 as the highest building. Now if we make 9, then 9 will make the highest building, so it is changing the skyline view when we are viewing it from west basically, right? So we cannot change the skyline view. So similarly, so let me just take these colors back again. Similarly, if we want to change this cell, right, this cell, then we can make this cell as 4 maximum, right? 4 is the maximum height we can make. And why? Because if we make this 4, then still if we are looking from north, we will see, we used to see this 4 before, right? Now still we will see 4 when we are looking from north, so it is not changing the skyline view. If we are looking from west, still it is showing 4, means it will show 8 as the highest building, right? So it's not changing the skyline view. Similarly, from east also we will see 8 as the highest one, so it will not change the skyline view also. And from south also, if we are seeing from this direction here, 4 we will see, right? So it's not changing the skyline view. If we make it 5, then it will change the skyline view, right? Then we will start seeing 5 from south basically, so we cannot change the skyline view. So the maximum height we can put for this cell is 4 basically. So uh, how we are going to solve this problem, right? So what we can do is we can go through this 2D grid, right, that is given to us, and we will capture the maximum row and maximum column elements, right? So in this row, the maximum element is 8, right? So we will capture all the maximum row elements, so 8, then next 7, 9, 3, right? So let me just show you here quickly before we can go forward. So this is an important step. So on all row, we will want to find out maximum. So for example, 8 is maximum in this row, then in this row 7 is maximum, right? In this row 9 is maximum, and in the last row 3 is the maximum height, right? So we have captured that into our row max here, right? And similarly, we want to capture the columns now, the maximum column. So in this column, 9 is again the maximum here. In this column, 4 is maximum. In this column, 8 is maximum, right? And in this column, 7 is maximum, correct? So 9, 4, 8, 7. So we have captured that into our column maximum array, and we have, so now row maximum and column maximum. So both arrays we will we will prepare those arrays while we are traversing this grid, right? So we have to traverse this grid once, and after that, so let me just remove this coloring now. So I just wanted to show you which are the highest one for each row and each column. So after that, we will again go through this grid one by one position. So first position we will go here, right? So what we will do is we will compare the maximum of this row and this column, right? So whatever minimum value in these maximums basically, right? For example, I'll just write down here. So 8 is the maximum for row, right? Here, right? And for this column is 9 maximum, correct? For that. So here also you can see 8 and 9. So we have to take the minimum value from them. So we can raise this to 8 basically, right? So we will be able to raise this to 8 without changing the skyline view. So now we will, now if we are viewing the skyline view from all the 4 directions, cardinal directions, still our skyline view is not changing, it is as it used to be basically. So even if we look from west, we will still see 8 here, right? Previously we used to see this 8. If we are looking from north, then we will see 9 here, right? Because after 8, 9 is the highest. So we used to see 9 and still we are seeing 9, right? So it's not changing the view. On east also, if we are seeing, we will see 8 here, right, from east side. So again we are not changing the skyline view. And if we are seeing from south, from this one, then we will see 9, right, that we used to see. So we did not change the skyline view basically, right? So we have to go like each cell like this, and we have to find out the minimum of the maximums basically, right? For example, when we go here now, right, then the maximum for that row is 8, and maximum for that column is 4, right? Maximum for that column is 4. So minimum in this is 4 basically, so we can raise this to 4 basically, right? So similarly, we can go from each cell by cell, and we can calculate how much raise is possible for each cell, and we will uh, sum them all up, right? And we will get the total possible raise that is possible. So I just went through this grid and I just wrote it for here for you. So as you can see, the first raise is 5, right? 8 minus 3 is 5. So here is the first raise. The second raise is 4, right? Because 4 minus 0 is 4. The third raise will be like, as you can see here, if we go into this cell, for this row the maximum will be 8 for this row, and the minimum, like maximum for this row is also 8 and column is also 8, right? Column is also 8 for that basically. So it means 8 minus 8 minimum of them basically, right? So if we cannot make any raise, means in that case 0 will be the raise basically, right here. So that is how you can see all the cells are formed. So this is again 3. So here if you go here, then maximum row is 8 here, right? And maximum column for this one is 7 here, right? So we can take minimum of them basically. So we can make it 7 height. So 7 minus 4 is 3. So cell raise is 3 here, right? So similarly I just wrote it for all the these are total 16 cells. So these are all 16 cells, I wrote it. And if you calculate the total of all of them, it is 35, right? For example, 5 plus 4 is 9, plus 3 is 12, plus 5 is 12, plus 5 is 17, plus 2 is 19, plus 2 is 21, plus 2 is 23, plus 4 is 27, plus 3 is 30, plus 2 is 32, plus 3 is 35, right? So this is how total raise we can calculate, right? So this is how we can solve max increase to keep city skyline. So we can increase the buildings at that cell at the maximum possibility like this, and then we even without disturbing the existing skyline view basically, right? So let us just go ahead and take a implementation look here. So first I calculated n, which is the grid length. I created row max array and column max array, right? Because we first wanted to calculate this row max and column max. So we will go through this whole grid and we will capture the row max and column max for each row basically, right here, as you can see. So we will just go through each cell and we will update the row max array I, right? If it is more basically. So we use math.max. So we will get like row max here and column max here once we go through this, right? This one. So our row max array and col max array will be populated. After that, I just created a variable called as total raise possible, initialized it to 0, and again we are going through each cell basically, right? And we are capturing the we are taking the row max array of I and col max array of j basically, right? And then we are taking minimum value of that, and then we are subtracting the current cell value, right? For example, here we have 8, right? Minimum value we found 8, so 8 minus 3 is 5, right? So that's what we are doing. So cell raise is 5, and we will add that cell raise into total raise possible, right? So we will do it for every cell here. So so as you can see, and at the end we will just return total raise possible, right? So here time complexity of this solution is order of n square, right? N into n basically, which is n square, uh, n square, right? Time complexity is n square, and we have created two arrays here to hold the maximum uh, possible, right? So n plus n, it is basically, you can say the space complexity is on, right? Space complexity is on, because we have created these two arrays. Otherwise we just have variables, right? The arrays can be occupy maximum n elements, right? So n plus n is 2n, which is equal to complexity is on. And since these are nested for loops, right, so it is n square, right? So order of n square. So this is the implementation of how we can solve this problem. So we can just take this example that is given to us, and we can just run this example. So we should see 35 as our output. So we are getting correct output here. So we'll just go ahead and take the other both test cases that are given to us here. So as you can see, the next also got 0, so which is 0, so it is correct. So we can make another test case as well here, just to check, so we can make, let's say, this building as 4 and this building as 2, let's say, right? And let's see how what result we get here. So we are getting 4 here, right? So 400. So if you put it here, so 400, right? So let me just move it little bit, so we can put this space here. it is 400, right? Let me just write down 400, then 000, right? 000 and 002. So this is the test case we have taken for this one. So output we are getting is 4 now, right? Because for this row, let's say this is the 4 is the maximum, right, in this row, and in this column also 4. So this one we cannot make any raise. If we go here, then the 4 will be maximum, and here the 0 will be maximum, right? Uh, so let's just write down. So for row, the maximum will be 4, 0 and 2, right? 4, 0 and 2 will be the maximum for row max, and column max will be 4, then 0 and then 2, right, for column max also. So now when we are going cell by cell, let's say we are looking at this cell. So now we can take maximum of them, right, minimum from these two values. So minimum will be 4, so raise will be 0 basically, right, in this case. So if we go here, then we can take minimum from these two, so raise will be 0 again, right, because we cannot raise anything there. Here if we go here, then we can take this column value, like this row value is 4 maximum and column value is 2 maximum, so we can make a raise here, right, 2, right, we can raise it to 2 basically without impacting any skyline view, right. Then if we go here, then maximum of uh, row will be 0 here and maximum of column will be 4, right. So maximum of row is 0 and maximum of column is 4, so we have to take minimum of that, right. So we can not make much any raise here, 0, right. Here also 0 and 0 means again 0 here. For this one also 0 and 2, so here we can make a raise of 2, right, because 0 is the uh, row max and column max will be 2 here, right. So minimum of them, right, so we again cannot make any raise here, so it will be 0. Once we go here, then 4 will be the row max and column max will be 2, so minimum of them is 2, right. So 2 will be the raise that we can make here basically. When we go here, the row max will be 2 and column max is 0, so we minimum from them is 0. And when we go here, row max is 2 and column max is also 2, right. So again 0 will be the rise, so total rise is 2 plus 2 is equal to 4. So as you can see, 4 we are getting correct answer. So that is how we will go, right, means each cell we will go and we will compare with the row max value and the column max value for that row, right. So this is the row and this is the column, for example, for this cell, right. So we have to compare like that. So I think I explained in detail with these two examples, so we can just go ahead and submit our solution. So our solution is 98% faster than other submissions and 75% on the memory side, which is pretty good. So this is the way you can solve max increase to keep city skyline. So we can we have used, you know, the concept of this. We just calculated the row max array and column max array, and we used it to find out if there is any total raise possible and how much the total raise will be, right. And we just went through all the cells to calculate total raise basically, right. So here we found a cell raise for each cell and we will just add it into total raise, right, to find out total raise. If you haven't already gone through the playlist on my channel for LeetCode and LeanCode solutions, please go through it now. It has over 200 solved problems that were taken, that were asked by big tech companies like Apple, Amazon, Facebook, Google, Yahoo, Microsoft, and many others. And those problems are very important from coding interview perspective because those constitute important varieties such as dynamic programming, graph related problems, binary search tree, then binary search related interview questions, linked list related interview questions, string related interview questions, BFS, DFS, and matrix related interview questions as well. And it also has Java interview questions, which were Java telephonic frequently asked interview questions in Java interview playlist also. So if you are looking for preparing for Java coding interviews or just simply Java interviews, please subscribe to the channel now. This channel can definitely help you, and your subscription is really important to us, because this is the way the video can reach to more people. They can also watch these solved problems, and they can also get help to understand how to solve different types of problems and coding problems using Java. So please subscribe to the channel, share this video with your friends, and thanks for watching the video.